Ladies, take a breath with me. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. You do not need to rush. You do not need to fix anything in this moment. You are safe here. You are seen here. You are heard here. Now listen closely. Today we are going to flip the script. We are going to turn confusion into clarity and anxiety into authority. If you have ever stared at your phone waiting for a message that never came, if you have ever felt your stomach drop when a man suddenly went quiet, if you have ever asked yourself, did I say too much? Did I move too fast? Did I do something wrong? Pause. Place both hands over your heart. Feel your pulse. Feel your existence. Feel your aliveness. You did not do anything wrong. You are not too much. You are not hard to love. You are not replaceable. This moment is not your ending. It is your beginning. What we are doing here together is not about him. It is about you returning to yourself. This is not manipulation. This is maturity. This is psychology. This is emotional self-respect. Carl Jung once said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." Right now, in this silence, in this pause, you are choosing who you will be. The first instinct when someone pulls away is to chase. Your mind tries to make sense of the silence. Your emotions flare like alarms. Your thoughts sprint in every direction, replaying conversations, searching for mistakes, building stories to soothe the discomfort. The urge to reach out is not about him. It is about you trying to calm the anxiety inside your chest. But hear this truth clearly. Your emotions are signals, not instructions. Feeling anxious does not mean act. Feeling unsure does not mean fix. Feeling pain does not mean prove. Pause. The moment you rush to fix someone else's distance, you abandon yourself. Not today. Take one slow breath. Inhale for 4, hold, exhale for 6. Let your body catch up to your awareness. The goal here is emotional detachment, not coldness, not withdrawal, not pretending you don't care. Emotional detachment is the ability to feel deeply without collapsing into your feelings. It is the art of staying seated inside your own soul. Say softly, even if your voice shakes, "I can feel this without reacting. I can want someone without needing their validation. I choose my peace." Place your phone face down for a moment. You do not need to pick it up. You do not need to refresh a chat that is not moving. You do not need to try to reopen a door someone chose to close. When a man's energy shifts, do not try to fill the gap. Do not leap forward to compensate. Do not assume responsibility for his silence. Your job is not to pull him toward you. Your job is to remain grounded where you are. Men feel energy before they interpret words. When you panic, when you grasp, when you chase, your energy says, "My sense of worth depends on you." When you sit still, when you stay composed, when you return to yourself, your energy says, "I know who I am, with or without you." Confidence is not loud. Confidence is not aggressive. Confidence is a quiet inner knowing. It is the awareness that you do not need to convince anyone to care. You do not need to sell your value like a product. You do not need to beg, prove, explain, or perform. Say this slowly. Never try to convince someone to care. Read it again. Let it settle into your bones. If someone wants you, they will move toward you with clarity. If someone values you, they will show it without prompting. If someone is emotionally mature, they will communicate directly. You do not need to guide a grown man into basic respect. When silence appears, do not rush to fill it. Silence is not empty. Silence is information. Silence is revelation. Silence is a mirror that shows the truth of who is willing to show up when it matters. Carl Jung said, "What you resist not only persists, but grows." When you resist your discomfort, it intensifies. When you deny your pain, it tightens its grip. When you chase validation, you lose yourself. So instead of resisting what you feel, allow it. Say aloud, "This is anxiety. This is fear. This is longing." You are naming weather patterns in your emotional sky. They pass. They shift. They do not define you. Now take the 3-breath reset. First breath, name what you feel. This is disappointment. Second breath, name the urge. This is the impulse to reach out. Third breath, name your worth. My value does not move. Now stand up. Shake your hands out. Roll your shoulders back. Look at your reflection if there's a mirror nearby. See yourself. Truly see yourself. You are whole. You are worthy. You are allowed to take up space without chasing anyone. When you do not do what you used to do, when you do not chase, when you do not panic, when you do not abandon yourself, something shifts. The energy changes. The dynamic resets. A new question forms in his mind. Where did her attention go? Why isn't she orbiting me? Why isn't she reacting? And that question is where the power shifts. Not because you are playing games, but because you are no longer playing yourself. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." This is you becoming conscious. This is you interrupting your old pattern. This is you stepping into emotional adulthood. You are not here to chase anyone. You are not here to beg for consistency. You are not here to convince someone to choose you. You are here to choose yourself first, always. Breathe. You are doing the work. Your power is returning. Your center is rebuilding. Your heart is steadying. Stay with me. When you are ready, say, "I am not losing him. I am finding myself." Now listen. The silence that once felt like a threat is going to become your teacher. We are going to shift from reaction to observation, from trying to control what he does, to understanding what you allow. Say this sentence quietly in your mind. Not every behavior deserves my response. Silence itself is communication. When he pulls away, when the effort disappears, when the calls slow down, when the messages become short, vague, lazy, that is information. You do not argue with information. You acknowledge it. So instead of asking, "Why is he doing this?" ask, "What is this showing me about his capacity?" Hold that question gently. Do not rush it, because here is the truth many avoid. Some men are drawn to the feeling of connection, not the responsibility of it. Some men enjoy attention more than they enjoy intimacy. Some men like being wanted, but they do not know how to show up. And your old pattern may have been to fill the space for them, to smooth over the disconnect, to extend yourself, to reach out again, to reopen the door because you wanted the story to continue, but not anymore. This is where your elegant silence begins. Elegant silence is not passive aggression. It is not manipulation. It is not withdrawal to create insecurity. Elegant silence is choosing not to. Spend your emotional energy where there is no effort, no presence, no intention. It sounds like this inside you. I am not punishing you. I am protecting me. You no longer chase clarity. You no longer beg for reassurance. You no longer perform availability. You simply stop moving where there is no movement toward you. And here is what happens when you do. Your energy returns to your body. Your dignity lifts. Your emotional center stabilizes. When he sends nothing, you respond with nothing. When he sends little, you respond in kind, measured, warm, steady, calm. When he shows effort, you meet him where he is, not above, not below. Your response begins to match reality. And because you are no longer performing for approval, your presence becomes more powerful. Men do not fall for women who are always available. Men fall for women who are emotionally secure inside themselves, not cold, not detached, just centered. Listen closely. If he sends a casual message after days of silence, hey, what's up? Are you good? You do not reward inconsistency with excitement. You do not give him the feeling that his bare minimum effort earns your maximum emotional response. You stay warm. You stay kind, but you stay measured. Examples. Thanks for reaching out. I've been busy. How are you? This tells him your life is continuing, with or without him. Good to hear from you. What are you looking for right now? This reveals the truth of the moment, without pressure, without accusation. I'm doing well. I prefer consistency. If you'd like to make a plan, let me know what day works. This is emotional clarity, calm, steady, feminine, grounded. Notice what you are not doing. You are not writing essays. You are not explaining how he made you feel. You are not demanding a reason for the distance. You are not trying to get him to understand your value. You are simply mirroring investment. You are responding based on what is true, not what you hope will be true. Listen carefully to this next part. Consistency is not something you request. It is something you observe. If he wants to be in your life, you will know. If he does not, you will also know. There is no mystery. There is only your willingness to see clearly. And when you stop filling the silence for him, his clarity appears faster, because now he must face his own behavior reflected back to him. Your silence becomes a mirror, not to punish him, but to show him himself. If he is emotionally ready, he will step forward with clarity, presence, steadiness, initiative. If he is not, he will fade. Either way, you win, because you learn the truth sooner, not later. This is the part where your power returns to your hands. You stop asking, "Will he choose me?" And you begin asking, "Does his behavior align with the life I'm building?" You stop waiting to be selected, and you begin evaluating. Because a woman who respects herself does not chase presence. She responds to consistency. She protects her peace. She refuses to make a home in uncertainty. And hear this in your bones. Any connection that requires you to abandon your self-respect is too expensive. So take another breath. In through your nose, slow, hold, exhale. Your nervous system is learning that silence is not danger. It is simply space. And space is where your self-worth expands. You are not losing anything. You are returning to yourself. Turn your attention inward now, because the most magnetic transformation begins when your focus comes back to your own life. Ask yourself honestly, how much of your mind has been orbiting one person? How many hours have been spent analyzing messages, reading tone, filling silence with imagination and hope? How much of your emotional landscape has been shaped by someone else's availability? You are not weak for caring. You are not foolish for feeling. But you are done outsourcing your emotional well-being. Your focus is your power. Where your attention goes, your life grows. If your attention is on someone who is unsure, inconsistent, or absent, then your life begins to dim around their silence. We are shifting that now. Your life becomes magnetic the moment you start living in it again. This is not about pretending to be busy. This is not about posting highlight reels. This is not about making him jealous. This is about returning to your center. Your self-respect is rebuilt through small, repeated acts of self-honoring. Not dramatic change, not overnight reinvention, but daily devotion to yourself. We begin with your mornings. Before you reach for your phone, before you check if he came back, before you scroll, before you look for external confirmation of worth. Sit, breathe, be with yourself. 2 minutes of stillness. Not thinking, just noticing. This alone begins healing the pattern of emotional dependence. Then movement, not for aesthetics, not for a goal, just to signal to your nervous system, I am alive in my own body. Walk, stretch, slow dance in your kitchen. Feel your pulse, feel your weight. Return to your physical presence, then gratitude. Write down 3 things you appreciate that have nothing to do with him. Something you saw, something you learned, something you survived. You are teaching your mind to find fulfillment where it lives, inside your life. Then intention, 1 sentence, clear. Strong, claimed. Today I show up as a woman who respects her own emotional peace. Or, today I lead myself. Or, today I do not negotiate my worth. This sets your emotional tone long before the world touches you. Now your phone is no longer the place you go to feel okay. It becomes something you engage with, not something you depend on. The day continues. Mute his thread. You are not erasing him. You are reclaiming your mental bandwidth. Your nervous system does not need to be on alert waiting for a notification that determines how you feel. Next, choose one action every day that expands your life. A class, a workout, reading something nourishing, revisiting a passion you left behind, re-engaging with a friend who lifts you up, not drains you. You are not distracting yourself from him. You are expanding yourself beyond him, because your life is not a waiting room. Your life is not paused. Your life is not orbiting possibility. Your life is happening right now. You re-enter it. In the evening, you return to yourself again through reflection. Short, simple, clear. What did I do today that honored me? What did I accept today that I will no longer accept tomorrow? What am I proud of? These questions retrain your identity. They rebuild your confidence from the inside out. Because confidence is not an act. Confidence is not a tone of voice. Confidence is not being loud or detached. Confidence is inner alignment. It is living in agreement with your own worth. And as you do this, something shifts. Your thoughts begin to slow. Your breathing becomes steadier. Your emotional baseline rises. Your self-trust returns. The obsessive impulse to monitor his behavior fades. And not because you push it away, but because you are now full of your own life. You stop asking, "Why isn't he choosing me?" And something extraordinary happens. A new question forms. What am I choosing for myself today? This is the turn. This is the reclaiming. This is the moment where your emotional gravitational pull returns. Because a woman who is engaged with herself is magnetic without trying. Not mysterious but deeply centered. Not aloof but deeply self-possessed. Not detached but deeply whole. Your life begins to fill with things that nourish you. Solitude that feels sacred, not empty. Friendships that feed your joy, not just your time. Goals that excite your spirit. Moments that expand your breath. Beauty found in the ordinary. Sunlight, stillness, laughter, peace. And now your attention is no longer for free. It is earned through presence, consistency, and respect. You are not performing for affection. You are not auditioning for love. You are not bending yourself to fit into someone else's capacity. You are standing in your life, fully, calmly, gracefully. He will feel the shift. He will notice the difference. Not because you are trying to make him, but because your energy changed. You no longer approach love with need. You approach it with fullness, and fullness is irresistible. Not to him, but to you. Because now you love yourself enough to stay with yourself. Breathe. You are coming home to you. There is a truth about attraction that most people misunderstand. Mystery is not created by withholding. Mystery is created by wholeness. A woman becomes magnetic not because she's hard to read, but because she is deeply rooted in herself. Her emotions are not scattered. Her sense of self is not dependent on responses. Her identity does not float on external approval. She is not anxious in silence, because she trusts her own presence more than she fears being alone. Mystery is not a performance. It is a byproduct of inner fullness. When you share every emotion in real time, when you narrate your every thought, when you explain yourself before someone even asks, you remove the natural rhythm of discovery. Attraction needs room. Connection needs pacing. A man needs time to realize what he feels, not be told what he should feel. So we do not overshare. We do not announce our emotional weather every hour. We do not hand someone a map of our heart before they have shown they are capable of holding it. Instead, we honor the parts of ourselves that are sacred. The thoughts, joys, fears, dreams, memories, and longings that are meant to be earned slowly, not given instantly. This is not guarding. This is self-respect. Carl Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Your life becomes richer when you live it for you first. So here is how you restore natural mystery without playing games. Break one predictable pattern. If you have always texted first in the morning, do not. If you have always responded instantly, slow down. If you have always stretched conversations late into the night, let the night be yours again. This is not withdrawal. This is recalibration. Your energy is no longer reaching. Your energy is resting. Next, return to a passion you abandoned while focusing on him. Not to distract yourself, not to prove anything, but to return to the parts of your identity that had gone quiet. The most magnetic women are women who have lives, not schedules filled for performance, but lives filled with meaning. Go back to the thing that once lit your spirit. Writing, dancing, learning a language, photography, reading, yoga, weight training, drawing, music, volunteering, gardening, movement, stillness. Do it not for social media, not for an audience, not for validation. Do it for your soul. Because when your life becomes textured and layered again, your presence becomes layered again. And layered presence is irresistibly compelling. Next, refresh your environment. Rearrange your space. Light candles at night. Open your curtains in the morning. Add flowers to your table. Play music while you move. Let your home feel like your sanctuary, not a waiting room. When your environment supports your emotional calm, your energy stabilizes. When your energy stabilizes, your decisions become clearer. When your decisions become clearer, you stop acting from fear. Now, boundaries. Quiet boundaries. Soft boundaries. Boundaries that do not need speeches. You do not need to announce anything. You simply live differently. He texts at 1 a.m. You do not respond until morning calmly, not to punish, but because you are sleeping, and your rest matters. He sends, "We should hang." You reply, "I enjoy plans." What day and time are you thinking? Not to test him, but because you are no longer available for vagueness. He disappears again. You do not follow. You do not question. You do not reopen the door. Not to win, but because your peace is no longer negotiable. Your life becomes a quiet declaration. If you want access to me, show up. Nothing more, nothing less. No drama, no chasing, no over-explaining. And here is what is profound. When you stop moving toward someone, your energy returns to your own body, and your presence deepens. Your voice softens and strengthens at the same time. Your eyes become clearer. Your decisions sharpen. Your walk is slower but more intentional. Your heartbeat becomes steady. This is the moment a woman becomes unforgettable, not because she is trying to be, but because she is no longer abandoning herself. Carl Jung wrote, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens." This is your awakening. You are no longer preoccupied with how he sees you. You are now preoccupied with how you see you. And here is where the shift happens. A man does not fall in love because you chase him. A man does not fall in love because you convince him. A man does not fall in love because you offer unconditional access. Man falls in love when he recognizes that your presence changes the quality of his life. Not because you make him your world, but because you already have one. A full woman, a grounded woman, a woman who is emotionally nourished by her own life. A woman who does not fear losing someone who does not know how to keep her. This is the woman who is unforgettable. Not because she plays games, but because she plays no games at all. She simply lives her truth. And if he can meet her there, the connection flourishes. If he cannot, she keeps walking. No anger, no bitterness, no collapse. Just truth. Take a slow breath. Feel how your body responds to this. Feel the calm. Feel the returning. Time reveals everything. Not your effort, not your worry, not your analysis. Time. Time shows whether someone has the capacity to love. Time shows whether someone values you. Time shows whether someone can choose you without being pushed, reminded, or guided. So we do not rush. We do not interrupt the silence. We let it unfold. This will be uncomfortable at first. Your mind will try to solve the unknown. Your heart will feel the absence like an ache. Your nervous system will try to panic you back into old patterns. Text him. Check his page. Ask what's wrong. Prove you care. Reassure him. Re-anchor him. But listen with your whole being. If someone can only feel your value when you chase them, they were not valuing you, they were consuming you. You are no longer available for consumption. Your love is nourishment, not oxygen for someone who refuses to breathe on their own. You will want to relieve the discomfort. You will want to reach out so the anxiety stops. You will want to make something happen so you don't have to sit in not knowing. But if you break the silence, you will not feel better. You will feel smaller. You will feel like you handed your peace over in exchange for crumbs of reassurance. So instead of acting to relieve discomfort, we sit with it. Because the discomfort is not abandonment, it is detox. You are detoxing from emotional overinvestment. You are detoxing from urgency. You are detoxing from the belief that love must be held onto to survive. Breathe. Feel your feet. Feel your chest rising. You are here. Now, watch what time does. In the next 48 hours, the silence will teach you something. If he simply got busy, he comes back differently. He returns with intention, with presence, with awareness. He says, let's plan something. He shows consistency. His actions align with his words. His presence feels steady. When that happens, you do not sprint toward him. You stay seated in yourself. You let him earn his way back into your emotional space through action, not sentiment. You respond warmly, calmly, steadily, not withholding, not cold, just centered. You match the energy given, not the energy you hope for. But if the silence continues, if the distance grows, if the pattern repeats, then the silence is not circumstantial. It is his emotional style. Some people connect through intensity, not consistency. Some people chase the spark, not the bond. Some people like the idea of closeness more than the reality of showing up. And when that becomes clear, your path becomes simple. You do not beg. You do not explain. You do not perform. You decide. Because love is not measured by how hard you try to keep someone. Love is measured by how deeply you honor yourself inside the connection. Hear this. Your peace is evidence of your power. Power is not control. Power is not dominance. Power is not who cares less. Power is the ability to choose yourself without punishing anyone for not choosing you. So now the dynamic shifts. You stop auditioning. You stop initiating. You stop rescuing the connection. You start observing. Is he showing up? Is he consistent? Does he plan? Does he follow through? Does he move toward you without being prompted? If yes, you let the connection develop naturally, calmly, slowly. If no, you do not try to make him. You do not try to teach him. You do not try to inspire potential into maturity. You walk with dignity. Say softly, if your presence is uncertain, your absence is clarity. There is no loss in walking away from inconsistency. There is only self-respect returned. Now we set standards. Quietly, internally, unshakably. Write this at the top of a page. My attention is a privilege. Underneath, write 3 non-negotiables. Not for him, for you. For example, I do not chase. I reciprocate effort. I require consistency in communication. I do not emotionally invest in someone who is uncertain about me. These are not rules you express. These are truths you live. So when a man shows up with half presence, you no longer lean forward. You lean back into yourself. When a man tries to re-enter your life casually, you do not collapse into longing. You respond with clarity. Good to hear from you. I'm looking for consistency. If you'd like to make plans, let me know what day works. And then you return to your life. Not to wait, not to prove anything, but because your life matters more than someone's silence. Now the final shift. Your heart does not harden. Your heart matures. You do not love less. You love yourself too. You do not close your heart to connection. You close your heart to confusion. You do not stop caring. You stop overgiving to the unready. And the woman who emerges from this is different. She does not fear losing someone. She fears losing herself to someone. She does not chase consistency. She requires it. She does not try to be chosen. She chooses. Your worth does not rise when someone returns. Your worth does not fall when someone leaves. Your worth is constant. Love is not the prize. You are. Breathe. Feel the steadiness in your chest. Feel how your body is beginning to understand. You are not waiting. You are not hoping. You are building. And the right man does not disrupt that. He protects it. Stand up for a moment if you can. Roll your shoulders back. Place one hand on your heart and one on your lower abdomen. Feel the warmth of your own touch. This is where your peace lives. Not in someone's words. Not in someone's presence. Not in someone's attention. Right here, in your own body. You are going to learn something essential now. Power is not about control. Power is about choice. You are not trying to overpower him. You are not trying to outrun him. You are not trying to make him chase. You are simply choosing yourself consistently without apology. This is where the emotional dynamic flips. You stop trying to be chosen. You begin choosing. Choosing where your time goes. Choosing who has access to your softness. Choosing who gets the privilege of your calm, your humor, your affection, your heart. Because your energy is not common. Your presence is not average. Your love is not casual. You are not built for half-effort connections. Listen, a man who wants to be in your life will move toward you. Not in words, not in promises, not in chemistry alone, but in consistent behavior. He will make plans. He will show up. He will follow through. He will initiate. He will consider your emotional world, not just his convenience. He will create clarity, not confusion. And if he does not, you do not collapse. You do not internalize the absence. You do not build stories to excuse inconsistency. You do not chase potential. You simply say inside your own heart, "This is not my person," and you release, not dramatically, not angrily, not with speeches, with peace, because you finally understand the truth. Losing someone who is unsure about you is not a loss. It is alignment. Your heart wants what is real. Your soul wants what is steady. Your nervous system wants what is safe. Your future wants what is reliable. You are not here for emotional crumbs. You are here for a table you sit at fully. Now you set standards for access, quietly, gracefully, firmly. These are not rules you announce to him. These are promises you make to yourself. Write these somewhere, you will see them often. 1. My communication is direct and respectful. I expect the same. 2. My emotional effort matches what is given, not what I hope for. 3. If someone creates confusion, I remove myself from the confusion. 4. I do not explain my worth, I live it. 5. I choose relationships where I feel safe to be soft. When you live these standards, something shifts in the men who encounter you. The uncertain man pulls away because he has nothing to feed on. The inconsistent man grows bored because you do not reward unpredictability. The emotionally unavailable man fades because your presence requires depth. But the man who is ready feels drawn toward you, not because you performed, not because you made yourself smaller or quieter or easier, but because you are rooted. You move like a woman who knows, I will not abandon myself to be loved. And there is nothing more magnetic than that. Now the final emotional reframe. You are not afraid of losing anyone anymore. Not because you're detached, not because you don't care, but because you finally trust yourself to stay with you. You now know, if someone leaves, you do not lose love. You return to the source of it, yourself. Your heart is not fragile. Your heart is wise. Your heart is resilient. Your heart has been training for this moment. You are no longer loving from fear. You are loving from fullness, and fullness changes everything. You do not seek validation. You radiate self-respect. You do not cling. You allow. You do not beg. You observe. You do not chase. You choose. And the love that aligns with who you are becoming will not require you to shrink. It will feel like breath, like ease, like exhale, like home, not intensity, not adrenaline, not uncertainty, clarity, warmth, steadiness, reciprocity. Now take one final breath with me. Slow, deep, certain. You are not here to be tolerated. You are here to be treasured. Start with you. Today. Right now. In this exact breath. You do not need to announce your evolution. You do not need to prove your worth. You simply live it. And the right heart will recognize yours. Not by accident, by resonance. If this message has awakened something in you, honor it. Choose yourself again and again and again. Your future is too important to negotiate with inconsistency. Your peace is too sacred to hand away. Your love is too expansive to be wasted on the unsure. You are the prize. You always were. And now you finally know it.